महाकुंभ है कुंभ कुंभ ये 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 महाकुंभ है कुंभ 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 ये महाकुंभ है कुंभ कुंभ ये महाकुंभ है कुंभ कुंभ ये महाकुंभ है कुंभ 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 ये महाकुंभ है कुंभ कुंभ ये महाकुंभ है कुंभ कुंभ ये महाकुंभ है कुंभ 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 ये महाकुंभ है कुंभ कुंभ ये महाकुंभ है कुंभ 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 कुंभ.
Hi there, it's 8 a.m. by the clock. That means you've tuned into the Breakfast Club right here on CNN News 18. I'm Sonal Mehrotra Kapoor, and every Friday our endeavor has been to bring you something hatke, right? We bring you music, we bring you dance, and the flavor of the season, of course, is Kumbh. So why not bring you the sounds of Kumbh?
So what exactly is the Sounds of Kumbh? It's 14 different tracks, but these tracks actually are a confluence, I think that's the best place to use this word, of instrumentalists, musicians, singers who've come together from across the world. They've made a very, very unique sound. There are some unlikely, surprising combinations, and today we're going to give you a sampling of the sound, but we're also going to make you speak in just a few seconds with some of the creative forces that visualized and came up with this entire story.
All right, so that is enough of a teaser into what this show today is going to be all about. Let's just introduce our panel. Hello, gentlemen, how are you doing this morning?
Good morning. Good morning.
Very, very nice. So starting with, let me start with Siddhant Bhatia. He's a singer, producer, also the brain, the mind behind, you know, this entire project, if one can call it that. Suman Adhikari is with us. He is the director. He's the one who's put visuals, if I can say a vision, to this entire composition. Raghav is with us. Raghav is the producer, and also Premal Raval, he's a cinematographer of the entire thing. Thank you all very, very much for joining us. I have to start with the man whose heart, mind, soul has gone into all of this. So Siddhant, first tell us, kahan se ye idea aaya, kaise aapne socha ki puri duniya जा रही है कुंभ, but हमें जो नहीं जा पाए हैं या जो होकर आ गए हैं उनको कैसे एक रिमाइंडर देना है? How do we put them back into Sangam?
I think you just answered the question. This is exactly what happened. And being a sound person, being a recording and a musician person all this time, idea यही था कि हम लोग अपने devices से हमेशा visually capture कर रहे हैं सब कुछ. We are not having an immersive experience. We are always taking pictures and lots of videos. But what if we put something that is a souvenir back into your mind? What if we actually collect the sounds that are charged in the Kumbh? I have my Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankar, he is always guided with this philosophy that the goal of all music is silence. And that is exactly what happens. The idea was that we go down there in that planetary alignment, in that celestial, congregation, confluence, and we record the sounds that are there. In our Indian streets, in our lifestyle, in our everyday lives, we are already listening to a lot of beautiful sounds, noises, nature sounds, everything. But in that environment, there is going to be something special, and there was. So we were aware, we were coming together with everything. So why don't we bring those sounds back to the listeners? We actually went there, we chose a lot of sound effects, and we incorporated that in the music. So it's not like we're making beats out of the sound effects. It's not like we are doing something funny with sound design. No, we are not doing that. We're not experimenting. We are making beautiful music that touches your soul and that has sounds of Kumbh incorporated in it.
Beautiful.
So that was the idea.
But as an ordinary listener, which is what we are, it was experimental to some degree. So what I mean when I say that is this was the first time, we've thought of, for example, having classical flute combining and working with Indian instruments. I've seen before, but not in this manner. Saxophone in this manner, these are not instruments we associate with each other. So let me take the next question to both of you, because you were both the producers on this entire piece. how did you come up with these pairings? Did you put one name down and go, okay, what would work with that? I know this was a spiritual process also for both of you.
Yeah.
So what role was spirituality playing in all of this? How are you allowing the voice inside to guide you as you made these choices?
I mean, sometimes you just have to let the instrument take the lead. Everyone comes with a preconceived notion that a saxophone needs to be in a Western song, the classical flute needs to be in a concerto, or so on and so forth. But we just wanted to share all that. Let just that be purely sound, what the feeling it gives us. And then when a saxophone plays without context where it comes from, it just gave us that feeling, it gave us that tranquility, which is synonymous with the meditative part of Kumbh. So just shedding all that it's a Western instrument or it's an Indian instrument, we just totally forgo of that.
And as part of the global community of musicians, I am a part of the Recording Academy, the Grammys as we call it. We are networked and very well connected to a very huge network of musicians outside. So there are friends, there are brothers, everybody is mysteriously, looking at what is Kumbh. So I started talking to a lot of people and they just wanted to join in. Our third co-producer, Jim Kimo West, is one of, he's a Grammy winner. He's one of the best guitarists, meditative guitarists, new age guitarists of our time. So having Kala Ramnath, having some of the top musicians, we don't think as music as instruments. We see them as organisms. We see a logic behind it that we are going global today. India is being considered on a global stage, be it thanks to Ricky Cage, be it so many incredible people, Anushka Shankar. There's so many people that are taking global, like we're talking about Ustad Zakir Hussain today and Shakti. Everybody is looking at India in a different light.
Right.
So Kumbh in itself is probably one of the biggest gatherings in our time, in the history of our existence. Maha Kumbh. We had to do something
and
with
couldn't
it.
have come at a better time
absolutely.
when everybody
It
is
just
collaborating and this was just the perfect opportunity
The
in
perfect
waiting,
opportunity.
right? I know. So
We're
when
very
you wanna-
lucky about it.
Yeah. So when you want to come in on how does one start with a process like this? You think about Kumbh, you think about acha music ho gaya, this is what we'll do, you get the jam together and then it's your job to give it pictures. I would go there, I would be so lost, I'd be like, kahan se shuru kare? What was...
My question was also that, कि कहाँ से शुरू करें? When I reached there, it was like overwhelming. The intensity, the vastness of humanity in front of you, it was completely overwhelming. So what I thought was like, let's just experience it, like he was saying, it's immersive. So we just went in, we experienced it. And also, personally, I felt very small, in that vastness of,
yes.
Ocean of people. You feel humble, you feel small, you realize that, probably, a bigger word, but mortality of
Of life,
of our bodies. So that was a great experience. And then we, Premal and I decided to just be there and experience it and show it visually. That the experience that we are having, it should also come across to the audience.
So fair to say it's an individual's experience that you're taking, or you take the grandeur in your perspective? What were you chasing?
Perspective is individual, and you are experiencing the grandeur of that immense mass, that is in front of you, but the perspective is individual. So the camera becomes your point of view.
A person.
A person.
I want to understand a little bit about what it's like to be an artist in this space, in the sense that, Premal, so many photographers in the last few months have talked about how huge an opportunity the Kumbh Mela is, to go there to get that, the photo that captures the moment.
Yes.
As the cinematographer who was visualizing this project, part of it is living in the moment, understood. But when you're thinking through it, how do you think through something like that?
It's basically, first thing is the motivation. You need a motivation, which is music. Now we are doing this whole album known as Sounds of Kumbh. So I would like to first hear what are those sounds of pieces which will motivate me in that place. So when I listen to the pieces, I told Siddhant Bhai, I want to hear all the tracks, whichever is ready. Maybe it's not fully ready, but bits and pieces of it, so that I can go there and then start visualizing it. you know, with the guitar strings or with the saxophone.
So you played
know.
in headphones
Yes,
and
yes, I played in my headphones, and then I went out there because
like
it's
writing
a
a
pool.
novel.
Yeah, it's a pool of people. It's pool of people, and then suddenly also, you know, it's like 144 years, you know, everybody is talking about it. 144 years, you have to be there. It's like something like, okay, let me go there, let me be there for a day or two, see how it is, you know, what is the scene, and then I can capture it with the music. But the best part was that we were with all the artists. So, you know, for me was the Kumbh is a backdrop for me, you know, because my artist is in front and the Kumbh is the backdrop. So now let me look for those visuals where I can really, you know, have an epic shot. Now, as a photographer, the most epic shot is like, oh, got the sadhus, perfect, that's Kumbh. You know, but for me, I was like, oh my God, sadhus are my backdrop. You know, my artist is my foreground, but sadhus are my backdrop. Now I have to look for an epic frame. You know, and then of course, like Sangam, as we say, Triveni Sangam, it's not only the Sangam of two rivers, three rivers, but it's also a Sangam of art. You know, it's also Sangam of culture. It's also Sangam of millions of people coming and taking a dip there in this form of, like, you know, looking for liberation. Now I have to connect with all this, you know, and for me this was the most epic thing. Like, you know, like for me it's not just the sadhu taking that epic shot, but for me is something which I have to connect with lakhs and crores of people and then get them in one frame and put them in a background, and then in foreground is my artists.
Who's lost in the moment, hopefully.
Who's lost in the moment, You know, so yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But Raghav, is it too much? Sorry, go ahead.
I said so many times we were so engrossed when the musicians were playing that I forgot to you know, say cut. So many
Don't say forgot to roll the camera, because that's like everybody's worst
No, but that's
nightmare.
my job to roll the camera. And I was 100% sure every time I'm rolling the camera. Otherwise, yeah, you're missing out on the moments. It's because there are no retakes, right?
There
are no
one
retakes.
point of time where me and Jim were on the boat, and Premal was in a real lunge position for at least 5 to 6 minutes. Like in a lunge position, he was stable.
Trying to get a shot.
Lunge position, you're actually in a lunge. I was like, nahi hoga, gym jana hai, nahi hoga. It is incredible. He's on a boat, and I can only imagine what precision these people are looking at. Because capturing this moment is, it's going to be, it's never coming again.
कर सकते हैं future में,
After that,
this,
when even
try.
Siddhan bhai told me, "Arey man, like, I didn't even realize for 6 minutes I'm in that position."
But that's also the beauty of music, if I may.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
you know?
true. Like, you know, like when these guys are playing it and I'm in the middle of a Ganga on a boat, you know, like you totally forget about everything else,
infinite,
because
as they say.
they are playing live in front of me, you know. So I didn't really realize that it was 6 minutes until unless he pointed out, like, bhai 6 minutes tak aap, you know, and boat is also moving and I have to just see that my frame is stable all the time, you know. But yeah, I think surfing is something which I'll look for.
But Raghav, इन्होंने तो सारा shoot कर लिया, खूब सारा. Now edit table, I can just only imagine the process, what you're gonna get down to. I'm just thinking, making this is such a task. And what is going on in your mind? Is it a pressure that, oh my God, there is like so many people, everybody capturing it, everybody has a shot that they will take home.
Yeah.
What do I take home? What do I give them? What do I leave
definitely.
them?
At time it does get overwhelming because you have such brilliant artists, and then you have a vision of the director, vision of everybody, the singer, everybody's bringing their own thing. But then sometimes you feel like, okay, it's all over the place. Now I need to bring it back, streamline it. That's why as of now I've not gotten the chance to even go to Kumbh, because I was just like, okay, I got these files, okay, we need to record this, we need to do this, we need to do that. So just the experience of streamlining everything was, I think, what I was focused on predominantly, because it is a project after all.
Plus, we're talking about celebrities. We've got Aditya Gadvi on the track. We've got Yashraj on it. We've got Raja Kumari. We've got Kanika.
We have Kanika
So,
Kapoor.
one morning we are working together, and Premal and I are just heading out to Ahmedabad to record Aditya Gadvi. रात को हम वापस आ रहे हैं. The thing is edited, Yashraj. So it is happening every moment.
Wow.
But now it's done. So we're happy.
Wait, so very, very quickly, April is when we've been told
Yeah, and April.
all
we'll
14
figure it
tracks
out.
are
Yeah,
out into the world.
Yeah.
All
we
right.
are just contemplating, yeah.
Okay. Oh, so there are pieces here that are still being put together.
Yes.
All right. We won't prod any further to ask what they are. It's been so lovely to speak to each of you and have you just take out a few minutes to explain to us, because for us here in the studios, we see the after, the after piece. But to understand what went into the creation in that moment, that's truly special.
It truly is, and lovely to see that all of you are in such beautiful harmony, still thinking about it, still doing it, and also an endeavor to just tell everybody watching that there is so much that goes behind making one song. There is so much that goes behind just bringing everybody together for one project. And this is just a start, and the Sounds of Kumbh will be available soon. You can watch this space to know more about it. But don't worry, this is not the only piece we recorded with them. We did sit down and thought, let's give you thoda or teaser. So this is what a glimpse into Sounds of Kumbh looks like. Enjoy.
Take a look.
Om Gangaya Namaha Om Samunaya Namaha Om Saraswatyaya Namaha Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya 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 Om Namah Shivaya